Anointed ones, welcome to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose. And hey, listen, I'm not going to get in, or I may, very kind of casually mention some of the things that this ministry stands for, what this ministry believes in, and what this ministry is all about. But for the most part, I'm going to refer you guys to chapter 1 for that kinds of good stuff. And if you have any follow-up questions, I always leave the email link down in the description box. But when I make a chapter 2, for those of you guys who are already familiar with how I go about it, if there's a chapter 2 to a message, or a chapter 2 or more, then I will just refer you guys to chapter 1 to talk about, where you can get some information about the ministry, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I'm going to do today. But I want to welcome you guys again. Hey, please know that I value every single one of you guys. And I mean that. It's been a long time coming, growing the channel, man. But, this just is what it is. I'm not about the numbers. I'm about making sure that I'm putting out something that he's, downloaded to me that lets me know if it's one person, if it's 1 million people, 1,000 millions, which would, I guess, what's that? That's 1 billion. So if it's one person or 1 billion people, if it's 2 people, whatever. My thing is to just put out information that I believe, according to what he's downloaded to me, it can help someone. It could benefit someone, to encourage someone and all that kinds of good stuff. So that's what it's all about. So for you guys that have been around for a while, and for you guys that are new as well, thanks for all the love and support. If there's anything that I could do to reciprocate that back to you, in addition to the messages and the hard work that I do put in to get this message to you, hey, reach out, man. I'm going to help and assist in any way that I can. Any way that he instructs me and guides me and leads me to, I'm going to help. So there's more to it than just this today's message. So know that, guys. Having said that, we'll get off into today's topic, where we're talking about a chapter 2. Let it burn. Let it burn, people. Now, if you haven't seen chapter 1, please check it out. It sets the table, if you will, for this chapter 2. In chapter 1, I pretty much just looked at it from a certain perspective, and this message, I'm going to look at it from a slightly different perspective, although, again, different branches of the same tree. We have to let it burn, guys, and we know if this message is resonating with us, pardon me. So in chapter 1, I kind of looked at it from a perspective that says, hey, man, there's people, there's places, there's things, there's career, a lot of external things is the lens from which I, viewed it through and expressed it through in chapter 1. All these outside things, again, finances, relationships, even, weight loss or whatever, strength improvements and all those different things, all external things. But I want to be clear that there are some things that you, me, or whoever may need. We may be in that season where we have to just let it burn. And these things are not external things. They're not relationships that are toxic. They're not jobs and careers that we've committed to and that now don't serve us. It's not external things. It's internal things. And again, some of you guys know that this message is resonating, piercing straight through to the very fabric of you. Those internal things could be thoughts, ideas, views, perspectives, attitudes, perhaps even religious beliefs, family doctrine, anything that you have been beholding to internally. And the time has come for you to let it burn, to let that go. You no longer believe in that. That no longer serves you. It's been made obvious and clear to you. A lot of you, for over an extended period of time, that way of being, that way of thinking, that way of existing not only is it not something that you believe in any longer, but it's something that is actively working against you as a result of your refusal to let it go, to let it burn. Your very refusal to let it burn is causing you an enormous amount of self-inflicted suffering. That thing that your mom taught you all your life growing up, that thing that your dad taught you all of your life growing up, what society taught you, what the pastor, the imam, the minister, the science book, society, all of these different things that when you look at it now today, it's a haul. It's working against you just to try to continue to be whole to that way of being. Whether it's being a thug or being a racist. Whether it's someone who's thinking that, you know what, because I have more education, I'm better than that person. That way of thinking that because you look a certain way in the mirror, people should have to bow down and kiss up to you. You're better than someone. Whatever the case may be, these internal things that you or me or whoever may be watching this video besides you know that, you know what? That's toxic. That's toxic. And the more and more I fight to behold it, the more and more I fight to hold on to it, the more and more it becomes obvious to me that it's toxic. The more and more the potency of the toxicity presents itself. I'm still trying to be a racist because everybody in my family is. Because everybody in my neighborhood is. But down in my core, it is not working for me. It is working diametrically opposed to me. Every fabric, every ounce of my being is corrupted as a result of me still trying to be a racist. I'm trying to be a thug. I come from a long line of thugs, gang bangers and womanizers, or what do they call it now, thoughts if you're a female. I come from a long line of women like this, a long line of men like this. Everybody in my neighborhood thinks this way. And you're fighting, you're battling to stay true to something that's not true to you. You don't believe that anymore. You have to let that burn. You have to let that burn. For some of you guys, it may be something as simple as not even standing up for yourself. In a relationship, on the job, in society, you just turn your blind eye to every single thing. They're talking about you, ridiculing you, violating your personal space, passing laws, in Congress that, really, really just irks you. The more and more you turn that blind eye, the more and more you notice the ramifications, the consequences, the negative side effects. And so now you have to let this turn the blind eye aspect or side of you, you have to let that burn. You're being called to stand up. You're being called to make a difference. If it's joining the protest, if it's writing your congressman, whatever it is. The more and more you hold on to that, well, that's got nothing to do with me directly, attitude, the more and more you notice, it kind of gnaws at you. It chews on you. You have to let that burn. Some of you guys have, you got this macho image, and you got to be, your ego won't let you be humble. The environment, everybody sees you as this big tough guy, but at your heart, you're kind and gentle and loving, not soft or afraid, but at the heart of you, there's all this empathy and all this compassion. But you're still trying to hold on to this tough guy image, this guy that doesn't care, this guy that's not affected by, all of these outside things. You're alpha male and you're trying to fight to hold on that, but it's causing you pain and suffering. You know it. You want to express that laughter. You want to express that joy, that enthusiasm, that compassion. That tough guy image doesn't work for you anymore. You have to let it burn. You have to let it burn. That's this chapter 2 in a nutshell, guys, which is to point out it's not just all these external things that we may or may not have to let burn. It's these internal things that we're also being called to zero in on and let burn. That's not who you are anymore. It doesn't resonate with you. And every time you get up and try to continue to behold to it, it smacks you in your face, and those smacks are becoming more harder and more frequent. Because that's not what you believe anymore. You're not a Republican anymore. But everybody in your lineage has been a Republican, and that's the way the financial donations are set up based on the organization and the neighborhood you come from. But every time you do, you don't have Republican beliefs anymore. You don't have Democratic beliefs anymore. You have to let it go, guys. You have to let it burn. And I get it. Everybody in your life may be a Republican, a Democrat, a racist, a thug. Everybody in your life may be holding to that witchcraft nonsense that your parents handed down to you. Everybody in your life may have been a womanizer, egotistical. But it doesn't do it for you. Maybe there was a time, maybe there was a season where it did work for you, like that was a part of your essence, but not anymore. And you're fighting. And again, you're inflicting an enormous amount of suffering on yourself because you're fighting to hold on to something that a time has come for you to let burn. And if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. If I've given some good depictions, some good examples, if I characterized and made analogies or all these different things that fit your situation, your circumstances, or if I haven't even come close, you know within you the right situation and circumstances to which it's applicable, it's appropriate, it is resonating with you. If it's resonating with you, not trying to, square peg a round hole here. But hey, well, Minister Mongoose didn't touch on nothing that's relative to me. I ain't going through that. I ain't experiencing that. He didn't name this, but you know what I didn't name. If you heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. If the shoe fit, wear it. If it doesn't fit, kick back, get a foot massage, and then get up and go through your closet and find the shoes that do fit. If there's some that fit. But to sit back and just say, well, that don't work for me because he didn't point it out in this area that it does work for me, that's escapism. That's denial. And so if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, go find the shoe that it does fit. Go find the shoe that does fit. And be unapologetically and brutally honest with yourself about a mindset, a heart set, a belief system, a code of conduct, an attitude that you know, hey man, you got to let that burn. Be honest with yourself. There's something greater than that. That's why it doesn't work for you to begin with anymore. That's why it no longer works for you anymore to begin with, because you've outgrown that. Who passes through the 5th grade, the high school? Who passes through the 8th grade and then is committed to going back and doing 5th grade or 4th grade work every year? Who does that? It doesn't work for you anymore. You've cleared that hurdle. Whatever that hurdle is, with those attitudes, those beliefs, and whatever the case may be. You've cleared that hurdle. It's time for you to move on. You don't graduate from high school and then go back and restart high school. Again, be unapologetically bold and honest with yourself. It's okay. There's no shame. That was you. That was me at a time and a season. But it's not you, or it's not me, or it's not whoever anymore. So you can make that change and let it burn, or you can just keep getting back in, going to high school if you want. One thing about these days, as I wrap this up, one thing about these days, one thing about these times, one thing about our evolution is that it's not going to be forced. No one's going to come and grab you by your hair and drag you from 12th grade to college. No one's going to make you do that. No one's going to make you let go of those things that are poisoning you in your spiritual development, poisoning you in your attitude, and poisoning you in all these different ways. No one's going to come in there and smack you around and make you let those things burn. That's not how this works. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but we know how this works in the lives of 144,000, and we know how this works in the lives of every other humans on this planet. And so the chances of you being a member of the 144,000, well, I don't know what those chances are. I know that that's a literal number. And so from a numerical standpoint, the chances are that someone's watching this and that is a member of the 144,000, given that there's only 144,000 on the entire planet, the numbers could be what they are. But I also know that those of us who are amongst the 144,000, these are the exact type of videos and messages that we resonate with. These are also the kind of messages and videos that my spiritual family members that are amongst the chosen ones, what the good book refers to as a great multitude, these are also the kinds of messages that resonate with you and your spirit. Point being, look yourself in the mirror and know that whatever it is, from an internal as well as an external situation, circumstances, type of deal, and the time has come for you to let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn. We talked about the external things in chapter 1. We're talking about the internal things here in chapter 2. I'll close with, one of the most common phrases that I mentioned. Whether you think, the Christ was an actual physical person, there's others who believe that it's all a part of, astral theology. in that it's metaphors for how we are to live our lives. But the point being, regardless of what pendulum, of you stand on and what perspective you have, the point, the message is, well, again, whether you're talking about physically or philosophically or spiritually, the point is we have to let it go. He had to let go of this life, that physical Christ that he was, in order for him to ascend and become more. We have to let it go. We have to let it burn so that we can become more. So if there's anything that's holding you back, maybe it's something that you're not sure about. Maybe it's something that you are sure about, but you aren't clear, or maybe you're not just at a point to where you can actually confront it and let it go. Reach out to this ministry. I don't have all the answers, but my Heavenly Father does. Reach out to your Heavenly Father. You don't have all the answers, but He does. As it relates to this ministry, I'm here. I know that I'm anointed to assist you, but you have to know. And even though I don't have all of the answers that I do have been tried, tested, proven, and refined. That's to give Him the glory, not me. Reach out if I could be of assistance to you guys. Again, I'm not going to talk about the ministry or the services. I will mention the physical fitness branch of the ministry located at mountfitnessmbs.com, and I will mention the email link that I'll leave in the description if you have follow-up questions or interest in any of the services. And I'll mention the Cash App link that's down there as well. If you'd like some other information about the ministry, what it stands for, what it believes in, it's intended to accomplish, and all those different things, again, watch chapter 1 or any other of the most recent messages within the past year or so. But that's what I got for you guys. Hey, listen, I love you all. Reach out if I could be of assistance to you. Remember, this is a mind, body, and spirit ministry. And not only that, the universe has blessed you to have a sound mind, a clean spirit, and a strong body. Whether your mind is as sharp as mine or sharper than mine, whether I'm in so-called better physical shape than you, or you're in so-called better physical shape than me, whether I have the gift of laying hands and you have the gift of laying hands, speaking tongues, prophecy, and all of that. That's not what we're here for. We're here to be at our individual best. Not to compare and contrast, but to be at our individual best. The mental you, the physical you, and the spiritual you. Just being at your best. Not being better than somebody else, not being compared to someone else. Not somebody being better than you. Just your best. This ministry has been anointed to help you achieve that holistic goal, guys. And the universe has blessed you with all of these different things. And the universe wants you to be at your best in all these different things. The mental you, the physical you, and the spiritual you. Watch the video that's titled MBS Service Tutorial. Please hit the like. Please hit the share. Please hit the subscribe. Please hit the bell icon. When you do these things, guys, you add even more power to today's message for yourself. So if you watch this and it benefited you, you can make it benefit you even more. This is a spiritual phenomenon, guys. Not only can you make it even that much more empowering for you, you can make it even more empowering for others. When you hit the share button, you hit the like, you hit the subscribe, you hit the bell icon, you investigate and utilize the services, you leave a comment, whatever you do to help this ministry, you will receive the abundant harvest, shaken down, pressed together, and running over. And you will also amplify this message when you do any or all of those things. I'll leave an email link down in the description box and a Cash App down in the description box, so that that can be an option to you if those are one of the ways that you choose to show your thanks and your support and to amplify the power of this message. But that's what I got for you guys. I love you all. And I am Brother Minister Mongoose. And I will holler back.